Definitions of stuff that I'm pretty sure you have a pretty good grasp of. The first thing we're going to talk about is lines, ladies and gentlemen, lines. Have you ever heard of lines before?
No, sure. Yes.
This is like definitions here. If you've got this segment here, let's say it goes from A to B, what makes this a segment or a line segment is that it has a beginning and it has an end. A segment has a beginning and an end. It doesn't have to have dots or hash marks on it, it just has a beginning and end. What it cannot have, oh, by the way, how would you label this? If you were going to tell me you're talking about segment AB, let's say segment AB is 6 inches, you would do this. A, B, put a line above it, equals 6 inches. You are telling me that segment AB is 6 inches. Not to be confused with a line. What's the difference between a segment and a line, Ethan Malis?
Lines never end.
Right. This is line, let's call it line CD. A line has arrows and goes on forever and ever in every direction, or in those two directions. And if I were talking about line CD, I would do CD, and if I don't put arrows on it, it's called segment CD, which would just mean from here to here. If I do put arrows on it, you're talking about line CD, which means it goes on forever that way. Remember that?
Yes, Mr. I remember that.
Yes.
All you have to say it like I do.
And then, if you put the two together, we have what everybody lovingly refers to as a ray. And a ray has a beginning but no end. And how would I show a ray if I were writing it down and labeling it? Well, again, you do EF, and you would draw a ray above it. Ray EF, line CD, segment AB. Please note that the first letter given has to be your starting point. I cannot label this ray FE, because that means I start at F and go towards E and there's no arrow there. This is ray EF. It goes in that direction there. As we speed along, any questions on that? No. More stuff on lines. Stuff you never cared to know but now do. If two lines never cross, never will cross, they are called parallel lines. If they do cross, they're called, they're not parallel, they're not perpendicular. These are intersecting lines. If they do intersect and they form right angles, Ethan, they are
Perpendicular.
these would be perpendicular lines. Again, a lot of the stuff from last year, so we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. We also have lines that look like this. Arrow work. And a line that looks like this, just so we label them and keep them straight. One is horizontal, and the other one is vertical. Everybody happy with that? And if it's neither horizontal nor vertical, I think we called it oblique. So far, so good? Another blank piece of paper, because then we have to talk about the angles in the outfield. Angles are measured in degrees. special little, yeah. We have 3 different types of angles, well, 4 actually we need to know. We've got this bad boy right here. We got this guy like this. We got this guy like this. And believe it or not, we have this guy like this. What are the names of those 4 different angles? The one that forms a right angle, I know, Carolina, this is tough, but the right angle is called a, yes, right angle, which is 90 degrees. The angle that, Braden, is less than 90 degrees is?
Acute.
It is a cute little angle. Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
By the way, notice how I used the less than sign rather than having to write out all those words? And then we've got the greater than 90 degrees, which is, Lily?
Obtuse.
Obtuse. And this one you may or may not know. This one is 180 degrees. What's the name of that angle? Believe it or not, it is a
Straight angle.
It is a straight angle. And all of those have come and they're derived because in a circle, how many degrees are in a circle? 360 degrees. Why is that? Because if you drew these 2 perpendicular lines, this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, notice there's my straight line, this is the third 90 degrees, and there is a fourth 90 degrees, which gives you the 360 degree circle we've all come to know and or love. Are you with me on that? And then last but not least on this, I don't know if you have your protractor with you, but if not, we'll just draw it here. Let me change that. Can I change that? When you measure angles, if this was your angle, on your protractor, it actually gives you 2 different measurements, 50 degrees and 130 degrees. How do you know which one to choose, Jonah Winkling?
Depending on whether or not you want to have 2 separate.
That's exactly it. When you look at this angle, it has to be an acute angle. And there's no way an acute angle can be 130, so it has to be the 50. The 130 would come, see, your protractor doesn't know if the line you're laying it on goes to this side or this side. The other angle would be this angle here, and this would be the 130 degree angle. Notice how when you put the 2 together, you get a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So please make sure, if you're asked to use your protractor, that you look and make sure that your measurements make sense to what they're asking you to do. Oh, I think that'll probably get you through, maybe. Other than this, make sure when they label angles, if I'm talking about the 50 degree angle, let's say this is A, B, C, and D, how would I write that down? What angle is that? This 50 degree angle is angle what? John?
CAB angle.
CAB, cab, or it could also be BAC. Notice though, the one thing that has to be is that the middle letter has to be the vertex. I can't call it angle ACB because that would actually mean this would be the angle. So make sure when you do it, the vertex is the middle letter. You can flip the other 2 around, but that one is non